You think Diddy gonna pull a Nino Brown?
What do you mean by that?
He gonna get to the point and say, hey, this bigger than me. Yeah, Jay-Z, your ass was in that room when we did that. And yes, we was in the room when we did that. And you did that night. Give me my 5 years and let me go. This bigger than me. This bigger than Nino. This bigger than Diddy. Because if he does that, his ass is cooked.
A lot of people laughed at us when we had an episode a couple months ago in the title, Is Jay-Z Next? And now we have all these media personalities who were so quick to dump scorn upon Drizzy Drake, who are out here just carrying water for Jay-Z and acting like, oh, this is clearly a setup. How are you not capable of having the same insight into Drake when he's being falsely accused of being a pedophile? Why does Jay-Z get this special treatment? Truth is that Jay-Z has gone very out of his way. This is what you do in an industry, is you basically try to create as many connections to as many people as possible so that when they do come for you, there's a whole lot of people willing to back you up.
Drake was falsely accused, but greatly trolled. Shout out Kendrick.
Yeah.
The troll was real.
Coming out with a song versus coming out with a lawsuit. We all love art. A lawsuit's not fun. A song is fun.
Yeah.
So I get that for sure. But generally speaking, does it stand out to you as kind of hypocritical since Jay-Z's really the one who put the battery in the back of Kendrick in terms of, performing Not Like Us at the Super Bowl, which I am now convinced.
What do you mean? You don't think he deserved it? Ain't no battery in the back. Kendrick deserved it.
Deserved it. That's like the only song you put out the whole year.
Well, how many songs he got to put out in a year?
A bunch.
That song's the equivalent to probably
maybe an album.
Somebody's 5 or...
He did put out an album now. But that being said, I just think
the album should be certified now, right?
This situation
gold yet?
Is making it so unbelievably obvious how hypocritical the music industry is. But I will say this. Jay-Z seems like Jay-Z put in so much time and effort building all these relationships with all these old school music industry people and old school radio hosts and all these types of shit. But why does he doesn't have a relationship with me, Vlad, Ak, Sean Cotton,
and you guys are the only ones reporting on it.
But not a
everybody else is not saying a word.
But wouldn't you think if he was such a forward-thinking genius in the music industry that he would have wanted to form relationships? Granted, not with me. Don't do it with me.
He figured y'all don't matter.
We do. Spoiler. We're the owners of a lot of the biggest media companies in hip hop, and it's just like, why does the industry seem like they're so fucking boneheaded that they don't try to build relationships with all of these smaller, people who were smaller and are now like bigger than a lot of the more mainstream platforms? It's kind of bizarre. I feel like no particular desire to make Jay-Z's life worse. I assume that these allegations are probably mostly bullshit, but it would be nice if I got to go to the Rock Nation brunch, so I would be a little bit more incentivized to say that. Instead, I'm out here standing up for a guy that never even hit me with a follow back.
He doesn't have social media.
Yeah, he does. He just doesn't follow anybody. I was kidding about the follow back. I know he's not doing that.
Listen, man.
That's my GOAT. That's my favorite rapper of all time.
Do I think Jay-Z was in the building when things happened? Yes. Do I think Jay-Z know that people were in there doing things they wanted to do? Yes. Do I think Jay-Z was a participant in anything that had anything to do with a kid? No.
2004. He's riding high. He's already like the biggest rapper in the game.
He like 31, 32. The fact that the girl said she was 13 years old and fought both men off, ran around the house, and then ran down the street, got dressed, got to a gas station, called the dad. The dad doesn't go back to the house. The dad doesn't go to the police department. The dad doesn't take her to the hospital and just takes her home. And then 20 years later, voila, here we have it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great story.
Yeah,
but
I ain't fucking with it.
What evidence are we leaning on? I'm very skeptical of any of these situations where people are getting sued for allegedly fucked up shit that they did 20 years ago.
The dude said, I got a drink from Diddy personally. I felt a little woozy. So after feeling a little woozy, I went and got another drink. And then after that, Diddy pushed me into an SUV, ripped my clothes off, and sodomized me as they drove down the street. What the like? A SUV? He could at least put him in a Sprinter, somewhere where there's some room. A SUV? So you get a drink and you feel a woozy, and you go get another one. Grown ass man.
Many times in my life, I've drank a beverage and then ended up feeling like I got drunker than I planned on getting drunk. And when I think about it, it never even occurred to me to try to blame it on, me being drugged, even though that could totally have been the case. I just feel like, why are we even talking about this shit if we don't have some fucking evidence? If we have some evidence, if we have some witnesses, anything like that, then I'm interested. But otherwise, it just feels like a shakedown.
And I like the fact that Jay-Z like, oh no, you need to expose who you are. They saying it's me. The people need to know it's you.
That article or the statement that Jay-Z put out is one of the craziest things I ever read in my life.
I don't know if he did that.
All caps, "You will not get one red cent from me." I mean, you never see like a CEO put out a statement like that. If the CEO of Apple got accused of some sexual shit, for sure he's not putting out a statement like that. But Jay-Z has built himself up into a person who has so little communication with the outside world that when he comes out and seemingly gets mad about something, we haven't seen Jay-Z get mad about anything in like 20 years. He doesn't even give us enough of his personality. Granted, you saw him get kicked in the elevator, little things, but you've never seen him be mad about anything in 20 years. And finally, he's mad. You said we gangbanged a 13-year-old against her will. Boom. I'm mad. Which is fair.
Now,
that's fair. You're supposed to be mad when someone says that about you.
I'm going to be real. We're about to see who's who. Because all this innocent until proven guilty, we know is a crock of shit. This would have been anybody else. Major pullback. Endorsements, sponsorships, businesses, everybody. You got the NFL. I want to see what the NFL is going to do. I really want to see if they're going to, if they stand with him, Jay-Z's a superpower to have to. You got to salute it.
I agree. It's going to be crazy to see what if this isn't the last one. Because, this lawsuit doesn't seem terribly convincing.
They say it's 2 or 3 coming.
Yeah, because that's when you'd really start to see the corporate entities get spooked, as if there's a few more of these in the pipeline.
It's a 13-year-old, bro. This is enough to spook him.
Yeah.
If nothing moves, that he's the man.
It's crazy.
And he's tied to huge situations that don't play that.
Because, I was kind of impressed with the extent to which Ak got his lawsuit. He just kept streaming. He acted like he didn't give a fuck. And as a result, it felt like it just kind of went away. Yeah. I think that his attitude that he put out there publicly was very beneficial. That being said, Ak's not with Apple or the NFL or whatever. They're not going to kick him off Rumble because he got a lawsuit, right? But that being said, Jay-Z just has so many corporate ties. I mean, the Diddy thing unraveled fairly quickly. He sold his shares in Revolt. He exited out of a lot of different...
Yeah, he had to.
Yeah.
He had to. It was coming. That's how it goes. But I'm going to be real. Jay-Z's tied to way more things, upper business situations than Diddy.
Right.
Like, bro, you got Rock Nation. That's a whole thing. You got NFL. I don't know if he's still tied to the NBA team. And God knows what else.
Yeah.
Right? So we're going to sit back and watch the show. And I'm going to be real. I believe Beyonce in some instances got to ask him to kind of stay over there.
That is crazy because, but think about what they did in the immediate aftermath of this lawsuit.
They're supposed to do that. The family thing got to be.
Right, but Jay-Z, who you never see doing some bullshit publicly, clearly does not really like to go out in public any more than he has to, gets all dressed up with his family and goes to the goddamn Mufasa premiere.
He has to do that.
He was not going to do that if he didn't.
I mean, what you mean? His daughter is part of that, right?
Wait, is she part of it? Because I saw somebody saying that, but I have no idea.
I believe she is.
Well, that would make sense. You got to support your 12-year-old daughter.
I think the Beyonce things is just her things. I think she might ask him to take the back seat.
I don't think that...
Get in the trunk.
I don't think Beyonce is... I think her fan base is so solidified that they're not likely to flee the way that a lot of other people
I'm not
would.
thinking about fan base. I'm talking about just the people she do business with. They're going to advise her. Like the things that you immediately tied to, let's kind of keep that away from this. Your family life is your family life. We contracted you to do these things. We kind of may not need him on set. We kind of may not need him on stage.